Beware, mortals. You're entering the eerie depths of Chokeslam Radio, where expert insider WWE knowledge and secrets are unleashed with thunderous power.
Rest in peace.
Coming to you live straight from the heart of Death Valley. Here are your mysterious hosts, DRW15 and DJ Big Unknown.
Hello, Chokeslam Nation. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Chokeslam Radio. I'm your host, DJ Big Unknown.
I'm DRW15. We've taken a couple weeks off. A lot has happened in the WWE universe, but we're glad to be back, getting ready for Royal Rumble and a lot of big things in the WWE.
Yeah, and I apologize. We both apologize for having time off, but the Chokeslam Radio is the kind of show where it's okay if you miss a couple weeks, because what we talk about what's already going to be happening in like 3 weeks. So even though we haven't been talking about everything, like our viewers already knew everything that was going to happen, so we're already ahead of these other shows that don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of these other shows, maybe talk about what's happening week by week, or just talk about random stuff that doesn't really matter. But here we're just trying to get you guys the facts and trying to cover all things WWE. And we know you guys like to hang out in the comments now too. So if you guys have any questions about what's coming up, make sure to hit us up in the comments and we'll chat about it.
Unless your name is Meat Sweats, you're not allowed to comment. But anyways, the big news right now is WWE Monday Night Raw has a new home on Netflix, and it's being seen by possibly a wider audience, but I think that was kind of the idea of it. But do you think that just because they're on Netflix means everyone's watching it now?
I don't know. There probably is a bit of a wider reach just because, so many people on Netflix. A lot of people don't even have like cable television nowadays. And I bet people have like checked it out and clicked on it. I don't think that everyone's sitting down and watching the whole 3-hour show, but I think at least the like opportunity is there. Like there's a lot of people on Netflix, and a lot of times when I click on Netflix, like I don't know what I'm going to watch. But it's been tricky when it's Monday Night Raw at the same time as, Monday Night Football and stuff like that. So it's exciting now that the NFL season's ending because there's not a whole lot else on Monday nights anymore. So, yeah, I think maybe not right now, but hopefully with Royal Rumble and WrestleMania coming up, like that's going to be all over social media, and hopefully some crazy stuff happens where, more people are going to want to check it out on Netflix.
I'm gonna be curious to see what happens with the Royal Rumble. Are they gonna play it on Netflix, or is it still gonna be on just Peacock? Because not everybody wants to watch Peacock all the time when they're paying for Netflix already to watch Raw. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that Netflix has been pretty good so far. People were worried about like streaming issues, like connectivity issues after the Jake Paul fight, but it's been pretty good so far. And apparently Netflix's stocks are going up like crazy right now because they had, I think, like 8 million new memberships in the past couple months, which probably a big chunk of that was from the NFL games that they had on Christmas, but I'm sure a lot of it was from WWE as well.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people that watch the NFL don't already have Netflix, but with the NFL and now WWE going to Netflix, I think that's definitely part of a reason for the jump, because I don't think there's a whole lot else on Netflix right now that's like new and people are super excited to sign up for. So
what's up, Charlotte? Big Cocky, how's it going on TikTok?
Yeah, but like the Logan Paul or Jake Paul fight, and then NFL and now WWE on Netflix. Like all these sports fans are getting on Netflix. So that's pretty sick to
Oh,
see. And yeah, like Peacock. The only reason I had Peacock was like for did I lose you there? The only reason I had Peacock was for
you're
like The
back.
Office and for WWE. So if you're not watching like the WWE or Netflix or The Office, like there's no real reason to have Peacock. So I hope that they stream more of these like big events on Netflix or somewhere else.
Charlotte B. Sorry to cut you off the RW15, but I want to make sure our viewers that I'm sorry for I don't know how your name is pronounced. I did my best, but yeah, let's continue on. Anyways, so what did you think about this big Netflix debut episode that they had in LA with all these celebrities and WWE legends showing up? Do you think that it lived up?
Kind of. I mean, they kind of did what I expected them to do, like have a bunch of random stuff happen where they could then post it on like all the social media and hoping to get clicks. So they had like the Undertaker show up with his motorcycle and stuff like that. So they've had some good matches on there, and I'm excited. I think the Royal Rumble is going to be a big tell for how crazy these live events are going to be. Because Royal Rumble is already like a pretty big one and usually pretty fun. So if they go all out, I know we've had some guests on the podcast before who have been hoping to make a surprise entrance on the Royal Rumble. So we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of talk about John Cena and Logan Paul and all these guys, but I feel like Triple H, if there's any time to break out some tricks, it's going to be at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Every year there's going to be surprises, but I feel like this year there's going to be the biggest surprises yet in the Royal Rumble, especially with, AEW losing a lot of their guys lately. But yeah, I mean, the people who have already declared they're in it are pretty much like the biggest superstars in the WWE. I think everyone at this point knows that Roman Reigns is probably going to win it. But, if somebody like, 25 Cent shows up, that's something that somebody who Roman Reigns has never faced before. So could kind of throw him off or something like that. So I'm thinking that Triple H is going to start drafting people who have never been in the WWE before to be in the Royal Rumble. So it's not such an easy win for Roman Reigns.
Real quick, Charlotte Bukaki was asking if we're bullying her in the chat. No, if you watched our episode from a couple months ago, we had an anti-bullying clip that we showed from the WWE. So we're big on being a star and not bullying. So we're sorry if we mispronounced your name. Thank you for joining the stream, and we hope you didn't feel bullied by us.
Because we've had some bullies come at us in the comments, so we know how it feels. And our show is about, saying no to bullying and being a star.
Exactly. But back to your point, yeah, I think that with AEW, they've lost a lot of guys, but I think they're really riding on like Big Justice and Big AJ and the Rizzler right now, and I think the WWE, I'm not sure if they feel threatened by that, but they definitely know, those guys are big stars, so they got to find someone to match that. So we'll see if they bring someone from AEW who's no longer with them, or if they reach out to someone who's not necessarily a wrestling superstar but a celebrity. I know that Bad Bunny said he wants to go back and do even crazier stunts than last time. So there are options out there. and we'll see
Yeah,
which direction Triple H wants to take it.
I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, Bad Bunny showed up in the Royal Rumble, and he actually did pretty good. I believe he was in like the final 6 people left or something like that. So he definitely, if he made a comeback, I would be pretty worried about him. And what other superstars do you predict will be surprise people entering the Royal Rumble that haven't been announced yet?
There's always a chance Snoop Dogg is there. He's been all over the place lately. I think there was like a Snoop Dogg Bowl in college football this year. And he's a longtime legend in WWE. He kind of saved the match in WrestleMania. I think it was 2 years ago now when Shane McMahon destroyed his legs. Oh, Hendrick is back. There's always an NFL player in or around the Royal Rumble or around the WWE. I don't know where the Royal Rumble is this year, but it'd be cool to see. I know George Kittle's a big WWE fan.
Yeah, and welcome back, Hendrick B. Sorry, we've been kind of off the grid lately, even though there's been a lot of news. But we explained this earlier, but our show, we kind of report on the news ahead of time anyway, so we figured it would be okay. But we're back now, and Chokeslam Radio is back in full force. Yeah.
We missed you, Hendrick, because you're definitely one of our most active fans.
Exactly. It's a blessing to see you again. You hope you got a good start in this year, and is definitely, I hope, and it's definitely time for a Discord. I woke up at 4 a.m. for 4 weeks straight for nothing. Okay, yeah, Hendrick, that one's on us. But we will be working on the Discord, and you know what? Since you woke up at 4 a.m. for 4 weeks in a row, I will promise you that we will have a Discord link to share next week for all the Chokeslam Radio fans, and we're gonna be going crazy on the Discord. So yeah, that's on us, but at the same time, I'm sure you're glad you woke up and probably got more stuff done that day since you woke up early. So at the same time, you're welcome. Anyways, back to the Royal Rumble. I think that out of the superstars that are going to come back, I definitely think that Hulk Hogan is going to be a surprise guest in the Royal Rumble because, a lot of people have been talking CRAP about him, and he even got booed really loud at the Netflix premiere, which was one of the biggest events of the year. So now, like, the whole WWE fan base, is against him. So now it's time for him to prove himself. And I think that he's going to come out there and, show him what Hulkamania is all about.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way for the WWE to attract people on Netflix as well. Because Hulk Hogan's a pretty well recognizable figure. So to even just be able to put his picture up there, I know my dad would probably click it. My dad loves Hulk Hogan. So, getting that dude out there would be big. Edge is another one. I know the Rated R Superstar was, I think he was on AEW for a little while, right? And broke his leg. Something like that. And we haven't heard from him since.
I think that Edge is definitely going to be wanting to come back to WWE especially with the current state AEW is in. Pretty much every superstar who is going from WWE to AEW, it's a disaster. Edge came in with a lot of hype and momentum, but then he didn't do anything besides break his ankle. But we have people like Jade Cargill and now El Pento coming from AEW to WWE, and it's like a big deal, and it's totally boosting their career. So, I kind of see it like going from something like, like MLB, like an MLB team to back down to like a AA or a AAA team. You might play better on a AAA team if you're coming from the major leagues, and I'm sure that the fan base for that team is going to love that you showed up, but is that really going to help your career? I don't know.
Yeah, wrestling is tricky because you want to be it might be appealing to go to a different company and be a star and like the face of the company, but then you might just go over there and break your leg because they don't take the same care of their wrestlers. And we've talked about the WWE and the security teams and how they can do better, but I promise you it's leaps and bounds ahead of AEW and some of these other companies in terms of protecting their guys.
Yeah. Another guy who, in fact, Chokeslam Radio, we're gonna confirm this as a scoop that Omos will be returning in the Royal Rumble 2025. We have confirmation from our inside sources. Well, we are the inside sources, but he will be there for the 2025 Royal Rumble, and I think that he could make it pretty far.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of time off, a lot of personal time, but he's still been active, and he's definitely still on the WWE roster, right? Because he was on the hot dog eating contest with Joey Chestnut and Rey Mysterio, so he's definitely still around. And that's a guy I would not want to face in the Royal Rumble. Like he's big enough as it is. It'd be a real pain to get him, over the ropes and out in a match like that. And there's not a lot of huge guys in the WWE right now. There's a couple like Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, but there's no like Big Show or Great Khali anymore. So,
but you never know. I mean, the Big Show was just with the Rizzler in AEW, so maybe he could come back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not sure. We're gonna have to get our analysts to give us a report on what Great Khali has been up to lately, and we'll provide an update because you have to. The Royal Rumble is something anybody could show up to, so you have to take all possibilities when you're researching this ahead of time. So we have a question from the chat. Not everybody really knows about the difference between AEW and WWE, so I think this is a good opportunity to break this down. Basically, the AEW is this new wrestling company. It's all elite wrestling, and it's owned by the same guys who own the Jacksonville Jaguars. And basically, AEW is like, there's a couple pretty good wrestlers there, but for the most part, it's like really confusing to watch.
I'm going to join from my phone because my computer's being a little glitchy. I think I'm in the studio, so let me just see if this works.
Okay. Yeah, AEW is a new company. And there's this dude named Cody Rhodes. He's Dusty Rhodes' son. Dusty Rhodes was like some big dude from the 80s who had like an accent and wore like polka dots and stuff. And his older brother, or Cody Rhodes' older brother, is Goldust, who is like a guy who dressed up in like a wig and a gold outfit and talked kind of funny. And basically, he was in AEW and was like the owner of it or something. Well, he wasn't the owner, but he was like creatively in charge of it. And basically, he came to he basically left AEW and went back to WWE, and now he's like the champion of WWE. So pretty much everybody from AEW is now going to WWE after that because they saw that it was kind of a way to get into the WWE. And meanwhile, AEW has been kind of a mess. But they're still doing pretty well. They just got on HBO Max, and a lot of people like watching it. I've never been to an AEW show, but yeah, that's my. Once we get DRW 15 back, he can give sort of his perspective on it. But he's facing some technical issues right now. Do you think The Rock will win? I'm guessing you're talking about the Royal Rumble. I think it's very possible that The Rock will win the Royal Rumble because, he has beef with Cody Rhodes as we saw last year, beating him up in the parking lot. So he's going to want to fight Cody Rhodes to get that championship. The other guy who has a championship that he could fight is Gunther. I don't think he really cares about Gunther. Obviously he's a good athlete, but yeah, I think The Rock definitely could show up in the Royal Rumble and kind of do his thing, because once The Rock shows up, the only guy who can really take him down at that point is the Undertaker. And the Undertaker has only showed his face like 3 times in the last like 3 years, so I don't think he's going to be there. But DRW 15, I was wondering, what are your thoughts? Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on The Rock being in the Royal Rumble?
We'll see. I mean, The Rock has been back around a lot, which is exciting, but we haven't really seen him fight a ton. He's kind of been busy doing his MMA movies and other random things. And the Royal Rumble it's a tough one because there's a chance when you sign up for the Royal Rumble, you enter first or second or third, and then you're fighting for like close to an hour. And I got to be honest, I don't know if The Rock has that in him anymore. Obviously he's a superstar and a legend, but he's not putting in that work in the ring week after week. So hopefully, if he signs up for the Royal Rumble, he's got to drink a prime, or he's got to get lucky and enter close to the end. I think if he enters, he's always got a shot to win, and I can definitely see it happening. But the dude hasn't really proven that he can last a long time in the ring in his current state. So we'll see. But I would never bet against The Rock in any sort of match. I don't even know how many Royal Rumbles he's been in, because I feel like he's usually the champion or got a belt or too cool for the Royal Rumble. But this might be the one where he decides he can take it, and I wouldn't be shocked.
So The Rock's not confirmed for the Royal Rumble, but somebody who has said they're going to be in the Royal Rumble is John Cena. And he doesn't really seem like he thinks he's going to win this thing. But I don't know. A lot of people are, John Cena's a legend, so I don't know why he's acting like that. He definitely has a good shot at winning the Royal Rumble. But, who would he face? Cody Rhodes? I thought he was, best friends with Cody Rhodes. I mean, he helped him out during the Bloodline Rules match at WrestleMania. So, I don't know. It kind of seems like he's just doing whatever the fans want him to do, and he doesn't really want to be in the Royal Rumble, or, thinks he can even win it anyway. So, even though John Cena is a legend, I don't really see him going very far in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because, this is like his last run or whatever. I forget exactly what he's calling it. The last time is now, something like that. And you don't want to enter the Royal Rumble and lose to or get tossed out by like a nobody, on your last run. You want to kind of go out with a bang. And yeah, the Royal Rumble is tricky because you never know when you're going to enter, and you never know who could eliminate you. He's doing some side quests. Yeah,
I agree with Hendrick B. Yeah, he just doesn't really want it. He doesn't really want to win, and he keeps saying like, not just him, like WWE and the commentators, Michael Cole, all those guys, and especially everyone online on TikTok and stuff. They keep hyping it up like John Cena's like retirement tour. They were saying like a couple of months ago he came back and said he's like returning to WWE full time. And then we didn't see him for like 5 more months. And then they're like, oh, he's going to kick off his retirement tour at the first Raw on Netflix. And all he did was just show up and talk about, again, say basically all the same stuff he said before, like, oh, I'm going to do my retirement tour now. And then we haven't seen him for like another 3 more weeks. So, like, what does this retirement tour even mean? Like, are you actually ever going to wrestle, or are you going to just keep talking about how you're going to wrestle? It's just weird. And he doesn't even want to fight anyone. He was just asking like the fans, like, should I fight this guy? Should I fight this guy? And he's just listening to hear what who the fans wanted him to fight. He doesn't actually want to fight anyone. He just wants to do what all of the fans want him to do, which I mean is a good thing, but we want to watch somebody who actually wants to fight his opponent, who's not just there for the money, like Jake Paul. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. John Cena used to be a real bad ASS on the mic, and you'd come out and just flame people and start beef, and people were scared of him. And he's not really doing that anymore. Like, he's always been a man of the people, and the fans love him, and that's great. But yeah, I think at the same time, the reason fans love him so much is because he would just get in the ring, cause chaos, and he didn't care what other people thought of him. And he's not really doing that anymore. I saw CM Punk was kind of calling him out last week, which I think is a bit annoying. CM Punk is a total yapper on the mic, and is another person who like left the WWE and came back. Whereas John Cena has been pretty loyal this whole time. So I don't know if CM Punk has any grounds to call out John Cena, but at the same time, John Cena hasn't really done a whole lot recently for the WWE. He's still this big name and all that, and people love to see him, but he shows up once every couple months and doesn't really fight. So I'm hoping the Royal Rumble is like the start of a great run for him, a great final run, but he should have at least been like starting some beef or something before this, because I don't really, at this point, I don't know who he's going to fight, and there's no one that like he even has any real beef with.
The only beef he has is the McDonald's commercials he's been doing. Anyways, I do agree about what you said. I do agree with what you said about CM Punk. He beat Drew McIntyre, so what? Like, all you did was beat Drew McIntyre, and it took you like 5 different fights to finally beat him once and for all. And now you act like you're the best superstar in the WWE. I mean, Drew McIntyre wasn't even a champion. Like, he wasn't even like the fake championship, like Intercontinental champion. Like, he literally, like, literally no one cares that you beat Drew McIntyre. And now, like, you're calling out like John Cena, Hulk Hogan, acting like Roman Reigns needed your help in War Games and like trying to threaten him and stuff. Like, I don't know who this guy thinks he is. Like, dude, all you did was beat Drew McIntyre. Who cares?
Yeah. I feel like CM Punk just thinks he is a legend because he's been around for so long, and he thinks he's all good because he gets on the mic and tries to roast people and sits crisscross applesauce in the ring. And yeah, the fans do like him, but at the same time, beating Drew McIntyre isn't a whole lot of an accomplishment. So, that might be a decent fight for John Cena, but I think it's up to John Cena to decide who he wants to fight. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him kick Logan Paul's ASS. That would be a good fight. Or maybe if Brock Lesnar came back, that's another guy who could come back in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I mean he beat Kofi last night, but then he kind of got jumped. He kind of got jumped by Kofi and Xavier Woods.
I it's kind of weird what's going on with Rey Mysterio on Monday Night Raw right now, because with the whole El Pento debut, they were saying that, or Adam Pearce basically called El Pento the best luchador in the world, when Rey Mysterio is the best luchador in the world, and he's already on Monday Night Raw. So it was confusing when this guy that nobody's heard of came out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really liked him, but the disrespect for Rey Mysterio was pretty uncalled for. And I guess, I wouldn't expect anything different coming from Adam Pearce, because that guy has his head so far up his ass, it's insane.
Yeah, but like that's the crazy move to call this new luchador. Like, I get it that they're excited about a new luchador, but Rey Mysterio has been like the luchador in the WWE for like 20 years now. And so to just come out and say we now have the best luchador in the world in our company is pretty crazy. I would like to see Rey Mysterio fight Penta and see who actually comes out on top. But I think even if Rey Mysterio doesn't win, I don't think we can just go out there and say that Rey Mysterio is not the best luchador of all time. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that pissed me off a little bit. But anyways, I do think Rey Mysterio is probably going to be in the Royal Rumble. And, I think he'll do good. I mean, he's a legend, but, the objective of the Royal Rumble is throwing someone over the top rope. So, when it comes down to an actual wrestling match, I think Rey Mysterio is one of the best in the WWE right now. But for something like the Royal Rumble, where you're getting thrown over the top rope, he's kind of at a disadvantage because of his size.
Mm-hmm.
Like, throwing Rey Mysterio over the top rope is a lot easier than throwing someone like Bronson Reed over the top rope. Even though, Rey Mysterio is way better than Bronson Reed at wrestling. Like, I'm sure 10 out of 10 times Rey Mysterio is going to beat Bronson Reed in a regular one-on-one match. But in the Royal Rumble, yeah, I don't think Rey Mysterio is going to do very well.
Yeah, part of the problem is Rey uses the ropes and like jumping off stuff so much, but that's dangerous when you get in the Royal Rumble, because if you're living around the ropes, all it takes is one counter move or one. He doesn't really mess up his moves, but if there's so many guys in the ring, all it takes is one to hit you at the wrong time, and then you're out. But we've seen guys like him and Kofi kind of use that to their advantage too, where they like jump around, and even if they get knocked, it looks like they're going to get eliminated, they'll end up on like a chair at the announcer's table or something else. So he's always got a shot as well. But I do agree that, if it's Rey Mysterio versus Bronson Reed or versus Omos or someone like that, like not exactly an even matchup in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, do you think we should go over the video clips for this week, or is there anything else you want to discuss?
No, I think that's good, and then we can chat about other stuff as it comes up. But I'm ready to review some clips.
And everyone who's watching now, at the end of the show, which will probably be in like half an hour.
Yeah, probably.
I do have a grand finale for this show, which you're definitely gonna want to be here for. So, if you can't watch it, make sure to tune back in later and watch the re-upload. But I'm gonna keep it a surprise for now. But you guys are gonna want to see this. It's a pretty big deal. Anyways, let's get into the clips sent in by our analysts. Here we go.
I'm actually very surprised. It's almost like you're at a loss for words there. You want to do it?
Go away.
Yeah, I mean, I always love seeing The Undertaker. He gets me fired up, and we've talked about it. That dude can scare some of the baddest MRFers in the world into hiding, as he did with The Rock. So, The Undertaker is always someone who could show up in the Royal Rumble, or he could do a match that's not in the Royal Rumble as well. We've seen him make some brief appearances lately, but yeah, I would love to see him in a match, or even a boxing match too. I wouldn't want to face that guy in any sort of ring or combat sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before we get into this comment, but yeah, I agree. Like The Undertaker, he's gonna scare anyone. Like even Brock Lesnar, you could tell was threatened by him, and Brock Lesnar, yeah, and also that guy in the corner. I don't know who that guy was, but you could tell he knew The Undertaker is not somebody you wanna mess with.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker fight. Yeah, Brock has been MIA for a little bit. He was on the Pat McAfee show recently, so that kind of tells me he's trying to get back into the swing of things. And an appearance at WrestleMania would be pretty crazy, or the Royal Rumble, one of the above.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think it has to do with the Vince McMahon stuff, because somehow he's involved, but basically I'm pretty sure I heard that the investigation on Vince McMahon came out that he was fine. Like I think he had to pay like a couple $1,000s of fines. We'll get our team to look into this and we'll get the official results, but I think he's pretty much in the clear, which means Brock would be in the clear too. If that's why they were keeping him out of things. But yeah, I don't think he was in the last 2K game. And, they haven't been mentioning him on TV besides like the Wise Man has mentioned his name a couple of times because, that's his boy. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think if he did make a comeback, it would probably be at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he would be a great one because he's fought a lot of he's fought John Cena and I think The Rock, definitely Undertaker too. And if anyone's got his number, it's Paul Heyman. So I bet you if Paul gave him a call, Brock Lesnar would show up. I'd love to see him face like Jacob Fatu or Solo Sikoa as well. Take on the whole bloodline.
Or Gunther.
Yeah.
But we have a comment from Hendrik asking about your shades.
Yeah, I saw that. These are USA shades. You can kind of see the sides. We had a big week this week in the US of A. So I'm wearing my American shades.
Excellent. Anyways, let's move on to the next presentation. There we go.
Bolo just said, Roman, I'm coming for you. And another spike to Zayn. January 6th, it's all about the
Sorry about that. I had a cough. Anyways, yeah, I thought, you could see that guy, that was a very valid reaction because, whenever Solo Sikoa shows up in the bloodline, it's kind of like you're a deer in headlights because, like, what are you going to do in that situation?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes the best thing to do when the bloodline shows up is just to freeze and hope that they walk past you, kind of like dinosaurs. Sometimes in Jurassic Park, the Velociraptors couldn't see you unless you moved. So I think that was a good move for him to kind of refrain from any sort of movement. I don't even think he blinked. So that was impressive. But yeah, everyone has their own style of reacting to clips and commentating, and sometimes you try to do too much and speak over what's going on. So I think sometimes you just want to let the entertainment speak for itself. So I respect that.
Exactly. It was like a bit of a Jurassic Park strategy, just like trying to stay still. I think that's what was going on. But maybe we can reach out to that guy. I don't know his name, but we'll see if we can get him on the show and see what he has to say about that, because I'm not really sure what he was thinking.
I would love to hear his comments on that.
Okay. Anyways, we have one. No, I think we have two more. Yeah, we got two more.
The Wrestler, Part 8. I haven't held championship gold, even though I should have, in years. I'm in a tag team and people think I get carried in this tag team. My real life name is Gary. I actually am quite underrated on my own. Who am I?
I thought he was talking about himself until the very end. I didn't realize that was like a who am I thing. He said his real life name was Gary, and he gets carried in his matches.
I don't know what he means by like real life. Probably like, I don't know, but like real life name. I guess that means if you have like a nickname like the Viper or something, like your real life name would be Randy Orton. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Gary in a tag team and is underrated, but hasn't had a tag team championship in a long time. I'm thinking it's maybe like somebody, because I know like all the WWE wrestlers since I'm, a podcaster and like this is my job. But this was a good question. Gary. I'm not sure because I don't study people's names that they go by outside of fighting. But I don't know. Do you have any ideas on this one?
I was thinking. I don't think it's anyone in the bloodline. I don't think there's any Garys in the bloodline. It
I
wouldn't
don't think
be
it's
like
the Usos.
no, it wouldn't be the Usos. Maybe like Pretty Deadly, but they're not. I don't think they're underrated. They're just not good.
The Judgment Day, maybe.
Yeah, who?
Well, they all go
What's
by their real names. So
what's Carlit? Is Carlitos? I can't imagine his name's Gary.
no, I think his name's Carlito.
Yeah,
It's probably
it's
like
Finn Balor and Dominic. Yeah, one of the guys in Authors of Pain.
oh, that's probably it. No, maybe it's one of the Vikings, the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, they could be a Gary.
That's what I'm thinking. It's probably one of the Vikings. That's got to be it because it can't really be anybody else. Yeah. All right, we solved it.
Yeah, unless it's the Miz, but the Miz also sucks.
I think the Miz's real name is Mike.
Yeah,
like Mike Miz or something like that. It just goes by the Miz. Like that's like if I yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got one more clip sent in for us to analyze. Let's break it down.
Jesus.
You know, anyone who's golfed, you know, that happens all the time. Even the best golfers like Tiger Woods, you know, sometimes they'll have a bad tee shot. So, you know, that doesn't mean that, you know, she's, I don't know, that could have been edited. I don't know what was going on, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they got us in that golf tournament, we probably would have sent at least one or two shots into the stands as well. And golf's a tricky sport. And we've talked about in the past how we were hoping to see Caitlin Clark get brought into the WWE. Royal Rumble might be a good time to do it. I saw she was just at the Chiefs game with Taylor Swift. So, you know, she's out and about, not playing basketball right now. Now she's golfing. So Royal Rumble the women's Royal Rumble. You know, I would love to see Caitlin Clark in there. Golf might not be her thing, but wrestling could be.
Yeah, I don't know of any other WWE superstars who are good at golf. I happened to see The Miz at a golf tournament and he scored in last place. So that just goes to show you that even if you're bad at golf, you can still be a pretty good. I don't know if you would call The Miz a good superstar, but you know, he's had a good career. So I think this means that, you know, Caitlin Clark could still potentially be a good contender in the Royal Rumble. But you know, if you make the difference between like golf and WWE is that in golf, if you make a bad tee shot, you know, you make a mistake like that, who cares? You just walk to the ball and you make your next shot. If you make a mistake like that, in the WWE ring, you know, you could potentially end your life. So that's my only warning for, you know, any golfers out there who are thinking of making the switch to being a WWE wrestler. I would keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in golf, you know, well, we saw Caitlin shot. It was a little dangerous for the people around her. The WWE is the same way, and you know, you're going against someone, sometimes multiple people, and there's a whole crowd of people right around the ring, and you got to know what you're doing, or else someone's going to get hurt. It might be you, it might be your opponent, it might be someone in the stands might catch a chair to the head or something.
Mm-hmm.
So same type of thing for sure. But I think that's a good point. Golf, you're not really risking a whole lot. You might like sprain your ankle stepping on a rock, but WWE, one wrong move and you might never be walking again.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we could potentially see any other golfers in the Royal Rumble this year?
Any golfers?
Like Tiger Woods or what's his name? What's the Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah, he would be a good one. He's pretty buff and strong, and I bet he watches the WWE. So I think he would be the most likely bet for a golf WWE crossover would be Bryson.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the guy who just got arrested? Scotty Scheffler? Was that his name?
Yeah, maybe we could see him. Yeah, something like that. I think that's his name. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the Royal Rumble. But, I don't know if he really has the strength to, I don't know. But, the Royal Rumble, there's no rules. There's nobody who's going to stop him from bringing out his clubs to the ring. And,
yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. That would be interesting.
Yeah, you could bring a caddy too. Have a little assistant there to like throw him his clubs when he needs them. So there's options.
All right. Well, so for this last part of the show, is there anything? Actually, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the big finale. But actually, wait, we have a comment here. How about other way around? Let's do a golf tournament with all professional wrestlers. The way between the holes has the plot sequence and the holes are the ring. I love that idea. I mean, these are the kind of people that we need at WWE right now because, back like 20 years ago, they used to do all kinds of creative matches like this. But nowadays, all you get are like these normal matches, tag team matches. Maybe once every 5 years, they'll do a Hell in a Cell match, and that's pretty much it. So doing something like this, I think would be pretty cool. And, moving to Netflix is a good way to get new viewers. But if you actually want to get new viewers, you got to start doing stuff that pushes the boundary. You can't just keep doing the same stuff on a different network.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a great idea. And maybe we could at least get it as a mode in the next WWE game or something like that, like a golf mode. I think people would love that. But anyways, one thing that I'm kind of concerned about in WWE is they got rid of the Prime hydration station on both Raw and SmackDown. And they also don't have the Prime logo in the ring anymore. So I'm a little concerned about that. For these superstars, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, Logan Paul will be fine since, he's Mr. Prime pretty much. But all these other superstars, now that they've been relying on Prime for the last couple months, pretty much the last year to stay hydrated, and then you just take it away out of nowhere, I think that's going to have a dangerous effect on their performance.
Yeah. Hopefully these guys, because they're professional athletes, once they introduce Prime into their sort of routines and saw how well it worked, they won't need the Prime hydration stations anymore because they've got it in their lockers and backstage. But, having it ringside was a really good move by the WWE because, some guys would take advantage of it during a match, and just having it there is always a good reminder of all the health benefits of Prime, seeing it right next to those wrestlers competing at the top of their games. So to replace that by something, I think it's Fortnite now in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Fortnite's cool, but I think a complete 180 from Prime, and definitely doesn't have the same health benefits as a Prime does. So I don't know, maybe Epic Games just had more money, and at the end of the day, that's why they're in the middle of the ring. But I think for like the benefit of the viewers and the wrestlers, the Prime sponsorship and hydration station was the way to go. And it's sad to see that it's not there anymore.
I have a theory that all of the WWE superstars backstage wanted to keep Prime, but the real reason that Prime is gone now is because of The Rock. Because as soon as The Rock came back on the new Monday Night Raw on Netflix, that was when the Prime logo was gone, hydration station was gone, and The Rock has his own energy drink. So I'm thinking that he's trying to, censor Prime so he could sell more of his drink. And he's the final boss, so whatever he wants, they have to do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just looked it up. He's got Zoa energy drink. I'm not sure how many calories are in it, and I've never heard of any wrestlers drinking it. We'll do some research on that and get back to you guys next week.
I'm thinking maybe next High Flying Flavor we'll do a Zoa.
Yeah, interesting. I see Zoa has green tea instead of coconut water, and let's see how much. So his Zoa energy drinks have 100 calories per can. So
that's like 10 Primes pretty much.
So do you want to drink 10 Primes or one Zoa? I wonder.
So Hendricks says you may like Prime as a drink, but Logan Paul is the type of guy to sign up his mother for a real Squid Game to run an ad campaign there. Listen, I'm kind of tired of all this talk about Logan Paul, all this negative talk about him. Like, honestly, who cares who he is as a person, No other athlete is under this much scrutiny besides Logan Paul. Who cares that he made a successful energy drink? Like, come on. Like, you have to come up with something better to criticize him about. So I'm kind of tired about this. And just because you don't like Logan Paul doesn't mean you have to hate on Prime. It's stupid.
Yeah, I think it's tough too because Logan's one of the first people of this new, sort of social media athletes. Nowadays everyone coming up as social media, and Logan was just the first to make it big on YouTube and then in real sports as well. So he's got a lot of haters from when he was on social media and making videos, and I think that just kind of carried over into the WWE and everything else he does. But now he's just killing the game. He's got Prime. He's a WWE superstar, and I think people are just jealous that he's been successful at so many different things. But I think that's going to be the case with any new athletes, like this guy Travis Hunter, who just won the Heisman. People are all over him on social media, and he had to delete his Instagram because of all the haters out there. So that's just the unfortunate part of social media athletes. But I think Logan just looks right past all the haters, and that's why he's been so successful. And I'm excited to see him back in the ring.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're gonna be that critical about WWE wrestlers, then you should be that critical to everyone. I mean, Triple H was out here making fun of people's accents and doing fake accents, and there's a clip of him doing something I can't even describe on this show. I'll get banned off of YouTube. But yeah, and Sami Zayn, before he was called Sami Zayn, he used to pretend to be a Mexican guy, and everyone's fine with that. So I don't know. It's interesting. The drink might be good, but at least for me, if I would buy those, I would get an ick knowing who would get some of the money. Same reason I don't buy Nestle products. I don't know what is going on with Nestle. I'd like to hear more about that, but I don't know. I guess that's a valid argument.
Yeah, it's just tricky
it's
because
like
so many of these products can be traced one way or another back to bad people who have too much money. That's why we drink goat fuel, because that's Jerry Rice energy drink, and we know him. And Logan Paul, although he can be a SCUM bag at times, at least we know who he is, and he's a wrestler, and I think he's got some good intentions. So I think I would drink a Prime over like a Gatorade, because I'm sure all the Gatorade money is just going back to some CEO, and everyone who's actually making the Gatorade is getting like 5 cents. So
yeah, it's kind of like that with movies too. Like one of my favorite movies is Hoodwinked. And now I have a hard time watching it because I found out that it was made by Harvey Weinstein. So it's kind of like the same thing. Even though it's a great movie, the guy who made it wasn't a great guy. So it's hard for me to enjoy a movie like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did not know about Nestle. I don't think I buy any Nestle products anyway, so I don't need to make any changes there. But yeah, thank you for the percentage might be off. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's get into this big finale. Usually we do high flying flavors, but I've got something a lot more exciting. So this year I am making it my quest to break a Guinness World Record. So tonight on Chokeslam Radio, I am going to be doing a world record attempt for the most pencils snapped in 1 minute. Right now, the record is 110. It was achieved by Ronald Starchian from Tarzana, California on December 17th, 2022. And it was equaled on December 1st, 2023 by David Rush in Boise, Idaho. So I'm going to need some help from you, DRW15, but we're going to need to do a 1 minute timer, and I'm going to go for breaking 110 pencils. I got my box of pencils right here. Let's see if we can get the camera good here.
Do they have to oh my god. Do they have to be broken one at a time?
I don't think that's not what it says in the rules, so I could do whatever I want, but I feel like it'd be pretty hard to count if I just started breaking them like.
Well, what if you just
I don't know. How are we gonna count we're gonna viewers, Hendrik, I'll designate you. You gotta count all the pencils for us and let us know at the end of the minute how many it was. All right.
Hold on, let me get a clock and then I'll. Or is there like a stopwatch?
Oh, you could do like you're on your phone right now, so.
Yeah, I can do. Hold on.
I could try to put my phone in the camera or something.
I think. Let me just check this. Yeah, that works.
Okay. But then I'm not on this. Wait. Maybe
What's a
like
better
that.
layout?
Oh, that just. Wait. There we go. Or what about?
Hey, let me. I'll
We lost DRW 15. Guys, we are going for the world record attempt right here on Chokeslam Radio. You could potentially be about to witness history in the making. We're dealing with some technical issues right now to try to get this timer set up. Probably should have planned this ahead. I have been training my wrists. Been doing wrist training for the last month to prepare for this. And I'm going to give it my all. And if I don't get it this time, well, no, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to get it this time. We got to figure out a better angle for this camera. All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, you count it down, and I'll hit play.
All right. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Wait, I'm going to put the box like this. Okay. No, I need you to count me down.
Okay, you let me know when I can start counting.
I'm ready.
I can't see. Move it down a little bit. I can't see the pencils. Yeah, there we go. That's good. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Thirty seconds. Fifteen seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, done.
Ah.
Oh my God.
Whew. All right, I think I got it. Hendrick, what's the official count? Did I get it? Come on, Hendrick. I'm counting on you. Are you serious? You didn't? How many did you actually count? I mean, I could probably count all the broken pencils. I could. Let's see.
Can you show us?
Like all over the floor. I made a mess. So I'm not gonna count them right now since we'll do a video replay and see how much I got on the replay, or I could just count them all on my floor. But I think I did pretty good.
Yeah.
Would you say that was around 110? Do you think I beat it?
I think so. There were a few times where you broke like 5 or 6 at once. So my bet would be that we just witnessed a world record.
Yeah. You know, I really like Hendrick B, but you know, you're one of my favorite Chokeslam radio fans, but you know, you kind of disappointed me today. But we'll figure out. Maybe we could get like an AI counter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll upload the video to ChatGPT and see if that can count it for us. But,
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Or I'll just email it to Guinness World Records and have them count it, because that's their job, right? You know.
Yeah, they're not going to accept our count job anyways. They're going to have to count it themselves.
Yeah, we'll just say we beat it and have them verify it. But anyways, that was the finale. We're gonna figure out the count and let you guys know next week. And I'll admit I didn't drink any Prime today, so that could have been the difference if I was a couple off.
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense.
But you know, I got all the time in the world to try to beat this record. And I'm just gonna get better and better. And you know, maybe if I can't beat this record, I'll go for a different one. But you know, there's got to be something out there I'm the best in the world at, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like I got a slow start there, you know, because I tried to break like 10 at once, and then I realized that wasn't gonna happen. Ugh, lead all over my hands. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Most of them still seem. Well, this was a lot more than 110 in the box because, you know, I'm trying to break the record as far as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, you know, if your name is David Rush from Boise, Idaho, or Ronald Sarchian from Tarzana, California, you better watch out because I'm coming for your record. I'm going to be the best in the world at breaking pencils. So watch out.
Yeah, that was just his first try ever. He's got a whole box left.
Yeah. Got a long ways to go till I'm done with this box, and there's a lot more pencils where that came from. You know, this is probably like 5 trees worth of pencils here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you're here next week to figure out if I broke the record or not. You might see me on the news too. But anyways. Oh yeah, by the way, if you use Twitter or X or whatever, make sure to tweet about our show so we can get more viewers. And you know, tell all your friends and family about our show too. You can even tell strangers too. You know, it's a good, you know, icebreaker to meet someone new. You can say like, "Hey, have you heard of Chokeslam Radio?" And whether they've seen it or not, it could eventually lead to a pretty good conversation, and it could be, you know, a great friendship that you create. And I mean, even, you know, if you want to go talk to a cute girl or something and you're not really sure what to say, you could lead with, "Hey, have you heard of this show, Chokeslam Radio? It's pretty cool. I was wondering if you've seen it." And, you know, maybe that could lead to a good conversation and you might end up getting her number or maybe even a kiss.
Yeah. There's a lot that can be talked about. Just bringing up Chokeslam Radio. You just watched a possible world record being broken. You know, you get asked about the high flying flavors every week. There's a lot we do here on Chokeslam Radio, and you know, if you play your cards right, the ladies will love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they're breaking world records on Talk Tua or Joe Rogan, or, you know, we're competing with these really good podcasts, you know, Logan Paul, The Undertaker, but, you know, I don't think they're breaking world records on there. I think we got a better show going on over here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, all right, everyone have a great night. May the power of the dead man be with you.
Thank you for joining us on this bone-chilling journey through the world of WWE. Join us next time on your favorite podcast app or live Tuesday nights on YouTube, Instagram, and X. As the final bell tolls, remember to stay tuned for more spine-tingling tales from the crypt. Chokeslam that button and subscribe. Check out srotu.org and TRW15 on YouTube. Or else, until next time, may the power of the dead man be with you. Rest in peace.